Hello everyone, something a little different today. Some of you may know the UK has once again gone into lockdown, but this time it has meant schools have had to close, which is fine and was required. Now, this isn't an issue for most of us, since, let's be honest, we all have internet access and internet connected devices. But for some families and children, this isn't always the case, and during the first lockdown these children got left behind and somewhat forgotten, since it was expected that all learning was done online. Since then things have improved slightly, with over 500,000 laptops being given to children with no access to computing equipment at home. There is unfortunately nearly 1 million children still in the UK that still need help in this regard, and there was stories of one laptop being given to a family with I think 5 children. That's not going to work. And yes, I know there are generally more important issues in the world at the moment, but this particular issue is important to me and this channel because when I was at school I was also one of those children that never had access to the internet and computing and that kind of thing. We did at one point have a computer, but it was always a bit weird. I remember back then, and most of my computing was done on my grandparents' machine, which didn't have access to all the time, so not great. And things have also changed since then, of course. I was at school quite a while ago, but I needed computing and internet access back then. So I can only imagine what issues children are having now, since all lessons are currently online via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or something else. Anyway, the point of this video is to draw attention to this issue, since it won't fully go away once lockdown ends, and the UK has calls it tech poverty, which is about right, but once again there are more important issues, but this is important at the moment, I think. Also, it's worth mentioning again while I'm talking about the UK. Here, I encourage anyone watching in another country to also look into tech poverty in education in your local area, since good education always leads to a better future for all of us. So it shouldn't be overlooked. So I want to draw attention to ways we can help and what services are out there for people that need it. Well, let's address the elephant in the room because there's a Raspberry Pi 400 in front of me. Let's talk about the Raspberry Pi Foundation and how they help. They currently are trying to, in conjunction with other charities, get computing equipment to children that require it so they can do online learning. In fact, I've just noticed there is an actual blog post right here. I think they're using, in conjunction with who they're with, UK Youth, which is great. It's absolutely brilliant. Each set costs about £200. In fact, it says there about £200, and it gets them a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and they supply a Raspberry Pi as well, since it is the Raspberry Pi Foundation. That makes sense. Pretty much the same thing here. So it's very important and very helpful because, as I said before, I used to be one of those children that didn't have access to that kind of stuff, and it would have made my life a lot easier. So that's great. So to help them, you can literally donate online. I donate regularly to them anyway, so I'm not doing it here. And the easiest way to support them would be just to go and buy a Raspberry Pi, since all the profits for each unit sold go into funding the charity. Of course, donate. It certainly helps them, but at this moment in time, since they take such a broad approach to the problem, and it's very IT focused, such as, you know, with £20 you can support a free coding club for a whole year. That's brilliant. But I'm talking about general education here and not IT education. While IT education is important, it's not as important as general education is at this exact moment in time. So I want to also then look at Nominet's reboot project. I'm a bit disappointed in what they've done here, because they've set up some guides and tools and a directory where you can get in touch with companies that are recycling IT equipment and offer discounts to people that need it. They're not actually doing anything themselves, which is unfortunate. It's nice to put it all in one place and help, but the idea is they want you to find some of your old equipment, recycle it, be it a tablet, a phone, a laptop, and either donate it to someone that's a charity or something like that that's in need of this kind of equipment, or donate it directly to someone that you think needs it. And that's great, and I will be looking at this in more detail in another video, because recycling old computers to me is very important, not just from the environmental point of view and saving money, but it should be a habit we need to get into, and not keep buying new stuff every 10 minutes when something new comes out, since it's not always faster and better, but it just costs money. So on this particular site there are, you know, helpful resources and a directory as mentioned, and most importantly there is a downloadable guide that will talk you through it and what to do. I will go through that in another video later. Now, something a little bit more closer to home for me is what Titan Partnership are currently doing, which is trying to tackle tech poverty in Birmingham area, which is very close to where I live. And for whatever reason, Birmingham seems to get overlooked a lot. It's kind of weird. It's kind of this odd thing where a lot of money seems to go to Manchester and London, and a lot of it seems to just bypass Birmingham for whatever reason. Things are improving, but it seems to be a bit of a strange thing that's been going on for quite a long time. So what they're trying to do is raise nearly £250,000 or £200,000. They're doing okay at the moment, and their plan is to purchase around 1,000 devices with the £200,000. I'm not quite happy with that, but of course overheads for charities and that kind of stuff, I would much rather than buy second-hand equipment, save some money and get more computers into more hands, because 1,000 devices isn't a lot. I mean, just an example, to get I think £500,000 to everyone over the last 12 months, it's cost the government I think £60 million. So it kind of gives you an idea of the scale in terms of money. But people are donating, and that's great, and I will be donating. Not 30 quid unfortunately, but 20 quid. What's this? Yeah, sure, I will pay the fee. So I'm going to give them, there we go, one lovely message. Oh, what we got here? Oh, PayPal. Everyone likes PayPal. Yeah, PayPal away. There we go, it's as simple as that. We'll kind of share the page. What's that do? Oh, that's boring, isn't it? WhatsApp. Ugh. Is that just a link to the... Give me the link. Ah, lovely. Just go straight to the page, obviously. Is my message appeared? Next, I want to look at, well, draw attention to this website. This is obviously for more parents willing to buy their own equipment rather than receiving donations. It's Get Online at Home. It's run by, I think it's UK Recycling. Hang on a second. It is run by Computer Recyclers UK in partnership with Carphone Warehouse regarding broadband bits. But they offer discounts to people that are eligible. and you can get a desktop PC for £99. Of course, not the fastest thing in the world, Core 2 Duo, and it's not brilliant, but it's cheap, which is important. And you just buy it through their website. Normally $119. Hang on, click on not eligible, and you will receive the discount if you of course are eligible. And they do a lot to help. I mean, they offer upgrades, but it is nice that it does come with a monitor and almost the bare essentials, which is, unfortunately, it doesn't come with Wi-Fi. That's a shame. So for a 4 gig Core 2 Duo and 160 gig hard drive, £100 with I'm assuming it comes with a mouse and keyboard. Yes, mouse and keyboard and a monitor. That is brilliant. That is an amazing price to get a child up and running with what they need. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with, let's say, a webcam or a microphone, which if they're going to be using Zoom or Microsoft Teams, they will probably be required. But at least with just that, they can at least join online teaching sessions and listen in. So that is absolutely brilliant. Of course, I'm sure all of us, well, not all of us, but I'm sure a lot of us have an old computer lying about. I personally have quite a few, which is not a shock. At the start of the year, I donated quite a few that I had. This time round, I have one left, which is an Acer small form factor business machine. The reason why I didn't donate this last time is because it has a fault. But I'm going to, in another video, go through what you can do if you have an old machine lying around, process of wiping it, setting it up, and we'll look at where we can donate it, or if you know someone that needs one. You might be surprised who actually needs a computer these days, especially if people have multiple children. How many people have multiple kids and multiple computers? One for each child. Not that many. And if all of them are supposed to be sitting there online with their teachers each day, you're going to need more than one computer per family. So you might be surprised people will be willing to take one off your hands just so they have that extra computer, for one for each child. So just ask around your local area, maybe some friends, family, and you can donate your old equipment within your local catchment, as it were, and at least you know it's going to a good cause rather than going to a charity and possibly sitting in a warehouse for 6 months. So that's brilliant. So that's all I wanted to say today. I do promise I have a review coming on this Raspberry Pi 400. I did do it, but I have scrapped it because I want to do a general one on Raspberry Pi in general, and I have a few niggles with this, which is why I'm not recommending it for educational purposes right now, because there is no ability to plug, let's say, headphones and a microphone into this other than USB. So it's not ideal. Plus some software like Microsoft Teams and stuff like that, when I last used it, it was a bit laggy on here. There has been an update since, so that might have been addressed, but for now we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the ramble, and I will do a video hopefully next week on setting up a machine ready to donate. So until then, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. So goodbye.